There you go. Right, here's a vlog about, well, I'll make a vlog about GTLDs, there'll be no views, because no one understands GTLDs. I'll make a vlog about rented rooms, it might have a few views. Right. I'll make a vlog about Universal Credit, gets views straight away. So here we go, here's a vlog about Universal Credit. This is about working the Universal Credit. Now, I've been an agency driver now for nearly 8 years. And one listened to my car last year. If you look at Number Plate Guy YouTube channel, that's me. Same look. Same beautiful looks. But when you see the cup of coffee, if you look through Number Plate Guy, about 6 or 7 videos down, you'll see a cup of coffee. Me making a cup of tea. Right? Cup of coffee. Cup of tea. That is when I became homeless from living in the car. Because I couldn't fix a camper. I was living in the car, I couldn't afford a camper. I couldn't afford a camper. So that's now that's a year ago now. Right, yeah? So I've made probably about 170 vlogs in this last year, something like that. And I've got about 670 odd on my Number Plate Guy channel. But I've gone from not number plates to domain names. Although I know number plates are domains. But working, I was an agency driver. If you get, I was being stopped. Attachment to earnings. I was being stopped. This is arrears. If you ever see this, you'll see it as a DEA payment on your wage slip. DEA. I was working 2 days a week, 3 days a week. This was like, because it was still the quiet period. If you're an agency worker, you know that after in the new year, January and February is very, very quiet month for everything. And I just got through the January and February, just about to get into like when March gets busy. Then the pandemic hit. I couldn't afford my camper. That was nothing to that. I just couldn't. I hadn't really earned enough to actually afford to do my camper when it packed up. Didn't have the money. So the homeless team contacted me. Right, yeah, I was made homeless. Right? I couldn't afford to run my car. The car didn't go. Couldn't fix it. Whatever. This is living in a car. And Universal Credit don't think that living in a car is accommodation, so they won't pay anything for that. So you just that's it. So, and they wouldn't even verify me. So that's the situation I was in. And when you see the cup of tea video, about 6 or 7 down on my Number Plate Guy, that's where I was. That's when I was made homeless. I had about 20 nights in a hotel, and then I had a couple of nights in the accommodation, and then I'm now in digs really. But I'm trying to get back into a car and get working. I've got no car, and no means to get to work, so I can't do it. So I'm still a year down the road. Universal Credit has still not been able to get me in a car, right? And I need a car to get to work for what I do, driving to get to warehouses and whatever. Yeah. But work for Universal Credit. If I was on 3, if I was lucky enough to get 3, you won't always get 5 days a week on agency work, agency driving or agency work. You might get 3 days a week. You might get 2 days a week. If you're on 2 days a week, you've only got 2 days a week. And January and February, in the quiet times of agency working of the year, those 2 months, you may not even get 2 days a week. And I was parked up in my car, where I used to park up, being stopped 60 quid off my 2 days of a DEA payment, right? And then how are you supposed to live how are you supposed to live, have food and pay for a car to get to work? When you're being stopped, when you're on about £9 an hour, 16 hours at £9, and being docked 60 quid DEA, you can't survive. There's people now that are on agency work. If you're not earning clear $9.50, if you're not earning $9.50 a month on agency, you're better off on Universal Credit. Right? Because you've got to find, if you're on 2 days a week, I couldn't guarantee a landlord when I was actually living in a car. Excuse me. I couldn't guarantee a landlord I could pay 300 to £400 a month. I could not. So that's why I lived in a car. Because then I thought the Universal Credit only pays 80 quid a month. 80 quid a week, sorry. It pays 120 quid. Universal Credit pays 120 quid a month. Universal Credit will pay 120 a week for a room, depending on where you are. Then you've got 70 odd quid on top. Well, yeah, that's 190 quid, 190 quid net. And you've paid your attachment to earnings. You'll get your accommodation, all your bills paid for, and you get you pay for a bit of advance and a bit of universal attachment to earnings. But the attachment to earnings is based on, you don't get the attachment earnings based on your 950, which if you're actually working for it, you would. You get your rent, and then you get your attachment to earnings, which is about 10% of your 409, which is not a lot. If you're actually working, you'll be paying, say, 60 plus a week, £100 a week, whatever, 60 quid a week, attachment to earnings, and your other stoppages and whatever. The problem is that you don't get those stoppages. Work has costs. If you're not on 950 clear a month as an agency worker, Universal Credit is a better option. I know you shouldn't go down the Universal Credit, but you shouldn't be left skinned. That's why it's there to provide. So you need more than 4 days. You need more than 4. You need to do work 4 days a week, every week of the year on agency work, to be better off than Universal Credit. And there's some on Universal Credit and PIP, on Universal Credit and ESA, and some have got Universal Credit, ESA and PIP. No job on minimum wage will pay more. Universal Credit pays more. The job, any job on minimum wage is less than Universal Credit. Some people may have health problems. If you've got health problems on Universal Credit, you get an extra payment. You should get an extra payment, which must mean you may be, and then you'd need to earn 5 days at minimum wage to get that money, to get the same money as Universal Credit with PIP or ESA on top, with your rent paid and your bills paid and whatever, to pay a combination of 500 quid plus a month, and then have some money on top. You see, you're talking about 100 and something quid, 100, to have about £130 a week to yourself and all your bills paid for. You've got to go somewhere on a minimum wage to do that. And then you've got to have costs and buses and get to work and everything else. You won't do it. Or you might, but that's what Universal Credit is coming up. So and I'm saying this because when I was in the car, I wasn't best pleased with Universal Credit because I wasn't getting the accommodation bit to run the car. But when you've got accommodation or landlord, you've got a tenancy agreement, the Universal Credit will pay your rent for that, against that tenancy agreement. Universal Credit becomes it is good.